Hey, I'm Ryan from Rocket SaaS, and I'm going to be teaching you 9 strategies to scale your SaaS business to 7 figures. I'm going to break it down into 3 main categories: short-term, mid-term, and long-term, because you're going to need all 3 to scale to 7 figures. Marketing strategy number 1 is cold email. That is a great way to immediately get leads fast. But the problem with cold email is it's very saturated, so you've got to stand out. Here's a couple of tips for cold email that works really well. First of all, go for this type of message where you offer a guarantee. Hey, first name, as job title at company name, if I could guarantee that we could reduce your support ticket handling time by 15%, would you be open to jumping on a 15-minute call? So that cold email is short and sweet, and it offers a guarantee that's very hard for people to say no to. So you're guaranteed to get responses from that approach. My second tactic for cold emails that works really well is offering to send a Loom or a Vidyard video. A Loom or Vidyard video is where you do a screen recording of yourself talking over typically their website. Here's an example. Hey, first name, I've been on your website and I've noticed a few ways to improve your sales funnel. How about I make a free Loom video where I show you what to improve? Totally free, no obligation to work together. Shall I send it over? Another tip with these cold emails is make it really easy for the other person to reply. Make it as simple as just saying yes or no. You don't want the person to have to speak to their manager and try and get you some documents or research or anything. Just make it really simple, and that will increase your response rates. Marketing strategy number 2 is LinkedIn DMs. This is very similar to cold email, but it's got some slight nuances around the technology and how many messages you can send. You're very limited with the number of connection requests you can do each week and the number of messages you can send. So you need to be hyper targeted, and you also need to have a multi-layered funnel of messages that you're going to be sending to people. In my experience, the messages that work the best is where you're sharing value. You don't just want to be messaging people saying, hey, do you want to jump on a call? Let's have a virtual coffee. That doesn't work anymore. What you want to be doing is you want to be sending out free ebooks, invitations to webinars, free guides, here's an ROI calculator. Those are the sorts of messages that get engagement on LinkedIn, when you're giving people value as opposed to trying to sell to them. So that's how I'd work on this marketing strategy. First, send them value, and then follow up asking them to jump on a call or do a demo. In order to send LinkedIn DMs, you need 2 things. First, LinkedIn Sales Navigator, and the other thing you need is a software. I recommend Meet Alfred, which can schedule all of your messages. The third strategy is ads. It's an absolute classic, and it is the fastest way to generate leads into your business. The main players in the SaaS space is Google Ads, Meta Ads, and LinkedIn Ads. There are so many different tips I can give you around ads, and I'm going to be covering some of those in my other videos, but my top 3 tips for ads are as follows. First is to be hyper specific with your targeting. On Google Ads, don't go for broad match. On LinkedIn and Meta, make sure you're really honing in on the industries, the headcount, the job title, also the location as well. Broad targeting just means wasted budget. Second, make sure you are using landing pages. Don't just be driving your ad traffic to your homepage or your solution page or your features page. You want to have hyper targeted landing pages that really matches the content in your ad. You want a smooth journey from the customer seeing your ad and the messaging on the ad to going on the landing page and reading a very similar set of messages. When you have a broken flow of someone seeing an ad with some messaging, coming onto the website, seeing different messaging, slightly different calls to action, that's when things start to fall apart. You want to have a very succinct, streamlined flow of messaging from ads to landing pages. And my biggest tip around ads is to use retargeting ads. You can't just get people to see your ad for the first time, jump onto your landing page and book a demo straight away. It just doesn't really work like that anymore for B2B SaaS. You need to do retargeting. So somebody sees your first set of ads, which might be about the problem that you solve, then the next time they come onto their socials, they see your brand again and they start learning about your solution. And then the third time they come onto their socials, they then start seeing testimonials, case studies. Then the fourth time they come on, they start seeing ads for free trials, demos, and that is how you get leads with ads. Let's now move into midterm strategies. First up, starting a newsletter. Now, many company newsletters that I see, particularly from SaaS brands, are usually rubbish. They usually get no subscribers and it just sits there and does nothing. My top piece of advice for starting a newsletter is using it from the founder. So not from the company, it's from the founder of the business. So it's coming from a person as opposed to a company. And I'd also recommend creating a separate brand. So rather it being the company name newsletter, have it from the individual and give it a separate brand. It could be called like weekly tips, weekly hints, that kind of thing. That always gets more subscribers than the boring sounding company newsletter. Marketing strategy number 5 is to start a podcast. And my top tip for podcasts is to hand pick your guests. So what you want to do is use an ABM approach where you look for your perfect target customer, look for the job title, find the exact person that you think is a decision maker that you want to work with, and then invite them onto your podcast. Invite them to be a guest. You'll then create a friendship. After you finish the episode, say, oh, thanks so much for attending that episode. Would you be interested interested in having a demo of our product? I think it could really help you. And then the conversion rates are really, really high with that kind of relationship that you build. Strategy number 6 is setting up a referral partnership program. You want your happy customers and your partners to be referring your business to get you more leads. And you can incentivize these people by setting up a reward platform on something like rewardful.com. This will allow you to give a referral link to your partners, customers, friends that they can give on to other people. So when people click that link, register with your platform, then they will get a kickback. Now let's get into some long-term strategies. Tip number 7 is content marketing. You want to be creating blogs, ebooks, white papers, webinars, ROI calculators, videos like this one. Those are all great types of content that people can consume across multiple channels. The more great content you create, the more you can distribute it, the more you're going to get seen, you're going to get well known, you're going to get brand awareness, you're going to help people solve problems, particularly when you're creating educational thought leader style content. People are going to know your brand, like your brand, trust your brand, and what happens after that? They want to speak to you. That's how you get leads and make sales. The 8th strategy is a classic. It's SEO. SEO is a long-term play. It's not going to get you leads quickly, but it's the sort of thing, if you keep going for a year, you're going to say, wow, I'm so glad we started doing that a year ago, because it is getting us lots of traffic and lots of leads. There's lots of nuances to SEO. The 3 main areas are improving the technicalities on your website, so improving the on-page content, the speed, the coding, that kind of thing. The other one is creating consistent, great content, regular blogs, videos, white papers, and the third one is link building, so getting other websites to link to you. You can pay an SEO agency to do that for you, or you can do that yourself by encouraging other businesses to share your content. My final strategy, number 9, is to create partnerships. You want to be looking at businesses who target the same audience that you target. Obviously not a competitor, because they won't want to work with you, but you want to think about, right, we solve this problem for our clients. What other problems do they have that we don't solve? And which companies help those people solve those problems? You want to reach out to them and say, hey, we're targeting the same audience here. We could potentially introduce customers to you, you could introduce customers to us, and just try and get on a phone call and see what happens. You'll often be surprised at how a relationship can form so easily. But some examples of things that you can do together is you can co-host a webinar, you can co-host a podcast, you can even co-produce an ebook together, you could co-host an event or a dinner. There's lots of different things that you could do, but I recommend you just trying to get on the phone with someone, having a friendly conversation and seeing where it goes. I've known SaaS companies that have created partnerships that have unlocked epic growth. So that is an often overlooked opportunity. So those are my 9 strategies to scale your SaaS business to 7 figures. If you're struggling with the time and resources to do all of those things yourself, you can partner with me and my agency, Rocket SaaS. There's a link for a free strategy call with me in the description, so click on that and I'd love to see you there.